Yeah, I just realized that I didn't start recording this. Oh, Jesus. Again. Hello. Today I want to try painting with gouache for the very first time. I've never done this before, honestly. I think the closest I've used was some water-based paint. I'm not really sure how to call it in English, in middle school. I have some experience with watercolors, but I can't say that I like watercolors too much. I've prepared this drawing here that is going to be a robin, believe it or not. And I bought these. I have never used them. I hope they're sealed. They're not sealed. Okay. And then I have my very professional palette, which is I think the cheapest fruit plate that I could find at IKEA. It's glass, so it's easy to clean. Well, ish. I think that I can safely use my watercolor brushes. Where are my watercolor brushes? Oops.
2 hours later.
I got my watercolor brushes. I don't even know if I'm going to use this. I don't know, we'll see. Apparently this is fundamental. This is a very dirty glass of water that I hopefully won't drink. I have this to drink, which is tea, Earl Grey, hot. So I'm ready. See how it goes. And now it's time for the voiceover. I didn't really say anything about the paints that I got. I chose a very small set by Talens because it was rather inexpensive. I know that there are way cheaper options out there, but I know that they're not great in quality. Also, and this is a very useful tip, I think. If you're planning on trying out a new medium, don't go for the big set with like 24 different shades of green. You don't need that. You only need the primary colors plus black and white. That's all you need. If you find that you don't like that medium, you won't have spent a fortune. And if you find out that you actually like it, you can start from there, and maybe if you find out that you do actually need 24 shades of green, you can then buy them. But the primary colors are really all that you need. So while filming this, I realized that this wasn't just my first time painting with gouache, it was also my first time painting a bird. I don't know why, I found it funny. And it's also my first YouTube video. So, speaking of that, please take into consideration the fact that in order to make this 20 minutes video, I had to edit with no previous experience whatsoever, something like 5 hours and a half of footage taken from 3 different sources because my camera kept on dying. And it was recorded over 2 days, so you might notice a change of clothes at the end. I noticed that I forgot to lock my whites balance and exposure and everything, so color grading was a mess. So please be kind, it's my first video. I would be very grateful if you kept that in mind and just gave me a like for the effort. That would be very nice of you. Anyway, since it's my first video, I think that I should also introduce myself. My name is Gaia, and I am a tattoo artist from Italy. Yes, I am Italian, that's why my English is horrible. I have been tattooing for 7 years, but not very successfully, to be honest with you. This last year was very difficult for many reasons that maybe I will get into in another video. So I've decided to commit to becoming a full-time artist, which in a way I already am, but like I said, I have not been very successful. So I thought I might use YouTube to document my journey. And I think, I don't know, perhaps if I share what I'm going through, what I'm trying to do, and what I learn along the way, I don't know, maybe some doors will open, perhaps I will make some new connections, and even if things don't pan out with YouTube, I will have learned a little bit about video editing, which, you know, it's a skill. It's also my intention to make videos about tattoos, aimed mostly at people who might want to get a tattoo, perhaps for the first time. To be honest with you, I've already actually recorded something like 4 videos on the topic, one of which became very intense and emotional, and I was happy because I had not even started uploading anything yet, and I was already batch recording. That's great, right? Except when I went to edit them, I found out that in all of them, the audio was fucking terrible. I could not sit through my own videos. So that went well. So we were talking about gouache. I thought I would try it because I've heard many people rave about it, both online and offline. Online mostly, so I wanted to see what the fuss was about. I expected it to be somewhere between watercolor and acrylics, and I don't love either of those. For a long time, watercolors have been the only colored medium that I would use. I usually draw in black and white. I've always drawn in black and white. I tattoo in black and white. I barely ever use colors. A few years ago, I took a workshop on oil painting, and I fell in love with oil painting. I got a couple of commissions, but people don't understand that a commission with oil painting can take a long time, not just the painting in itself, but it has to dry for a very long time before you can call it finished and give it to someone. So I thought I would try acrylics in order to have a medium that would allow me to complete a painting faster. But I don't like it. I really don't like it. I don't like the fact that it dries too quickly, so you cannot ever blend colors together. I don't like the fact that colors are often very transparent. I don't like acrylics, I really don't. And on the other hand, I've never been a fan of watercolor as well, because I could never achieve the effects that I wanted. And I don't think that my problem is with the medium itself, it's just my way of painting. Anyway, not a fan. I didn't speak about the background in this painting here. So what I did is I thought I would tint the paper like I've seen way better artists than myself do, especially when working with gouache. And in order to have a background color that wouldn't lift while I was painting over it, I just put almost random bunch of colors together, acrylic colors, and diluted them with water. And I use watercolor paper. It's messy, it's streaky, and it's ugly. So here I am trying to go over it, but with very diluted gouache. And honestly, I don't know what to think about the effect on the background. I'm not sure. I mean, I thought that even watering down that much would make it very sheer like watercolor, but I like the fact that it's actually not. Even with that much water, it still covers the background. It's something I really like. I like the fact that it's very opaque straight out of the tube, but it retains a lot of that opaqueness even when diluted. I also like the fact that you can reactivate the paint on the paper itself, which is something that you cannot do with acrylics. I found it very interesting the way in which the color shifts when it dries. I know that some people consider that a downside to this medium. I don't know, I just found it interesting. The only instance in which I found it a downside is exactly here, while I was trying to make the black blacker without realizing that I couldn't. That's as black as gouache gets. I don't think you can get a lot of contrast with this medium, which I think is part of its charm, if I can say that. On the other hand, I don't think this is the right medium to make like something really dramatic, you know? It's okay for painting birds. I think we can call it done, finished. Let me see if I can do the fun, nice thing on camera. It's not that bad. What do you think? What have I learned? To be honest, I don't hate it. I'm not talking about this Robin. I don't hate gouache. I thought I would because it dries quickly. Actually, the reason why I wanted to try it is because it dries quickly. What I love about oil painting is that it gives you ample time to work with it, blend the colors together. I find it very forgiving. The way I painted this is more or less the same way I use watercolor, meaning that I go into detail because the real reason why I do that is because I'm not really sure what I'm doing most of the time. I would like to one day be the kind of artist that's very deliberate with their brush strokes. I am not yet. Let me know what you think. And if you have any tips or suggestions, let me know because I'm just learning. I thought I would hate it. It's not that bad. Look at this guy. He's fat. This was great. I hope this was, at the very least, entertaining. I had fun. Thank you for watching and see you next time.